Good morning from the Isle of Skye. So I've come out for sunrise this morning to probably one of my favourite locations on the Isle of Skye for sunrise. Probably one of the most popular locations for tourists as well. It's the Quiraing. The reason it's my favourite, especially from a workshop perspective and my own actually, it can work in so many different viewpoints, particular locations within this big area. You can walk 5 minutes along the path, you can walk 40 minutes along the path, and you just get, there's great compositions. I think if you come away from here with a bad composition, then shall we say there's something wrong, because you can't really go wrong here. Sorry, a buzzer's just caught my eye. So yeah, as I said, it was a bit chilly. Had a kind of, I suppose it's icy snow, sleety stuff overnight. My car windscreen was frozen this morning, and bits of the path here were frozen. I could feel my feet slipping a couple of times, and you have to cross this gully, which a lot of people kind of get concerned about, because on one side of the gully, so when you're coming this direction, it's the first side you come to, there's water running off the rock, and I thought that may be frozen this morning, but luckily it wasn't, because if that gets frozen with black ice, it's almost impassable. So luckily I made it across. I've come to probably one of my favourite spots here, especially for workshop clients. So where you've got all these rocks in the foreground that help me to talk about composition. So using foreground interest, using layers in the composition. So I've got the rocks in the foreground, and I've got this structure here called the shark's fin. It has a Gaelic name, but I can't pronounce it. So we call it the shark's fin. And then behind that you've got Cleat, and then the Trotternish Ridge behind, and which runs away off to where Store is. So you've got these layers in the composition as well, like I say. So when I arrived here, I just got my camera out. I don't always choose the same composition each time I come, because there's a lot of this kind of snowy stuff on the ground, so there's white on the ground. It was probably going to cause problems with the composition, because a lot of the rocks have a dusting of snow on them, which, if you got that right in the foreground, may not work. So I spent a lot of time looking for a composition. I think I found something. So what I'm also looking for is balance, especially at the bottom of the frame here, with the rocks, trying to get kind of a balance of rocks going across the bottom of the frame, and I think I've got that. So I'll show you in the back of the camera. So like I say, got the rocks in the foreground. I couldn't quite get something to fill the gap on the bottom left hand corner, but I think it's still okay, because I've got this big rock in the right hand corner. So like I say, you've got the foreground, you've got your kind of mid-ground, which is the shark's fin, leading off to the second main focal point, with Cleat being the focal point as well. The image is Cleat behind it, sorry, shark's fin, Cleat, kind of the two main focal points in the image, because that's where you want the light to hit. Especially Cleat. I don't mind if it doesn't hit the shark's fin, because it keeps that in a bit shadow. So the foreground here will be in shadow, and that's fine for me, because that helps to lead the viewer through the scene to your main focal point. Now, especially this time of year when the sun's still rising in a southerly direction, when the light does come up, if you don't get first light, if you have to wait, say maybe 30 minutes to an hour, as the light gets higher and it creeps further south, it bathes this in light, and then everything becomes comes bathed in the same light, and that doesn't really work. You want your kind of foreground to be in shadow here, so it helps to lead the viewer through to your main focal point. So we're about 10 minutes after sunrise. One downside to this particular spot I have come to, which my colleagues have actually called Nick's Bend. I think it's because I bring a lot of clients here. So it's about a 20-minute walk from the car park. Depending on their ability, their physical ability and whatnot, I will maybe just take them this far, and then what we do is we start walking back towards the car and stop at different different viewpoints, depending on if the light's coming out again. Because I say you can't really go wrong here. But back to what I was saying, one of the downsides to here is no matter what time of the year you're here. So I keep looking around because I'm checking for the light, because it looks like there might be light hitting Store in the background at the moment. Is that I've got this big rock behind me, and I can't see the sun. So I either have to run up the hill, or at this time of year I can probably run a bit more over that way and just keep seeing what the clouds do. Now, there was a big bank of cloud on the horizon as I was walking here. I haven't checked in a little while. Unfortunately, the cloud is moving from west to east, so that could obviously, as the cloud comes over from the west, it could still block block the view of the sun. But I'll live in hope. So what I'll do is I'll finish this for now, and I'll go and check the sun, and yeah, just hopefully wait and see if we get some light. I mean, the forecast did look promising. It was maybe 70-30% in my favour of getting light. But if I have to wait here too long before the light, like I say, it will start bathing this foreground in light. So I won't hang around. I'll just move to a different location. So I say that's the beauty of this location as well. I'll just move to a different viewpoint and yeah, get some shots. So I'm going to check for the light, and yeah, fingers crossed. So I did pop up to the corner there to check the sun, or see how long it may be for the sun to come out above the cloud. And as I'm starting to talk now, I can see it's hitting Ben Edra on the Trotternish Ridge down there, and it's also hitting a part of the Trotternish Ridge where Dundoo is. If you see one of my previous videos, I photographed this kind of ski slope, as I call it, called Dundoo. So it's starting to come out now. But one thing I didn't talk about earlier, so I'll just keep looking because I'm obviously constantly checking what the light's doing. One thing I didn't talk about in the introduction was tripod height. So as I say, when I first got here, I spent a few minutes walking around trying to find what I thought was the best viewpoint. And as you will see, I stood up, I got down low, stood up, get down low all the time. Because when you've got the foreground like these rocks, being down low is more than often better than standing right up. Because you don't want to be looking down on the foreground, you kind of want to be looking across it, it's kind of through it. But as a caveat to that, what I will say is, as you stand up, get down, but either look through the camera, just look with your eyes, see if you're blocking anything in that middle that middle distance, because these rocks could potentially block something important in the frame. So I'm about 1.5 feet off the ground here, and I'm not blocking anything. I think if you can, you're probably lying flat on the ground before you're actually blocking anything, such as the shark's fin. So the lights, it's gradually coming out. It's probably just peaking above the clouds. Yeah, I can see it kind of aligned with it on the Trotternish over there, but it's not hitting my subject of cleat or the shark's fin yet. So that's why I'm not getting too excited. I'm starting to get excited because it is coming out. I can see it's hitting Ben Edra. There is actually a nice long lens shot at the moment with the cloud rolling over Ben Edra, but I don't want to change my composition just now. Or change my lenses and then change my composition, because I'd probably, as soon as I do that, then the light will come out. So you've got to kind of maybe stick with your composition for a bit and don't get too excited about changing lenses and you end up rushing around. So yeah, so I'm just going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to finalize my settings at the moment. So I've got my composition. I'm going to go down to f8. I'm just going to take my glove off so I can focus, because I use manual focus. And what I'm going to do is, my main focal point in this image is either cleat or the shark's fin. So I'm going to focus on cleat, because I'm not too worried about the foreground being uber sharp. I'll say the main point you focus on the image will be the sharpest point. So I'll focus on my main subject here. Now at the moment I may need a graduated filter, because I've got I'm starting to crush the shadows and I'm still overexposed at the moment, but that will probably change when the light does hit my landscape. But what I'll do is I'll get my case filter holder on the front of the lens. Yes, so the light is starting to hit cleat now, so I'm going to start getting excited. I'm going to start running around. So take my lens hood off, I'll go and grab my filters. So luckily for me, so this is where I'm starting to rush around now. So get my filter adapter in. Now I've currently got the polarizer on because I was using that yesterday. That may help actually, because there is a fair amount of blue sky there. Now when I'm with the blue sky, now I see the most of the composition has just got cloud in it, so I'm going to remove the polarizer. Good thing this is magnetic. There you go, polarizer's off already. So I reckon I need a 2-stop soft grad, just looking at the sky, just to bring that exposure difference down a wee bit. I'm going to rotate it slightly more to the left because it's brighter on the left side of the image. Yeah, that's much better. So I'm all set. Now, I really do want to take this lens off and put the long lens on, because the light is really nice over at Ben Edra. you know what, sod it, I'm going to change lenses. So what I can do is I can just keep this lens with the holder on it, and try and keep the focal length and everything. Lens cap off. Just keep checking on that light. Now, also, I'm not going to be able to show you what I'm seeing just now because that's going to take too much time, and the light's kind of very transient at the moment, as in it's kind of moving around the frame. So let's have a look. So what I'll do is I'll actually have part of cleat in the image. It's probably not the ideal viewpoint here. Right, so that's levelled off. Yeah, that'll work. And I'll focus on Benedra. Now this is an f4 lens, so the aperture of this lens is f8, so I'm going to set that to f8. 1/60th of a second. No filters needed, because I haven't got loads of bright sky there, but that's really quite nice, I think, because what cloud there is just it is being lit up underneath, and also the light is hitting Benedra. Yeah, right, so yeah, I mean the light's not hitting cleat at the moment, so I'm good, I'm all good for changing lens. But what I am going to be tempted to do is actually run up to the corner to get a clearer view of just Benedra, because from here I can't get... Oh, actually I can do, yeah, okay. I say that, but I can just get isolate Benedra on its own at 200mm, so refocus. That's quite nice there. I'm just going to... So it's 1/80th of a second. I've just taken the exposure back a wee bit. Yeah, I think that's quite nice with the way that you've got these white clouds which are kind of illuminated to the bottom of them. Yes, that's pretty good. So what I will do is I'll actually, while I'm doing this, I will shoot some video. Just so you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's really nice. So as you can see, you've got the Benedra there, which is being lit up nicely, and then the cloud is just rolling over the top of it from west to east, and it's being lit up from underneath. Oh, it's getting a bit chilly again. I'm just going to put my gloves on. Yeah, so I'm going to keep this composition for now, and hopefully the light eventually hits cleat here, and yeah, I'll put the wide angle lens back on. So the light didn't quite hit cleat in the shark's fin. It's basically giving you kind of a bit of rim light around the shark's fin at the moment, but what's also happened is we're about 50 minutes after sunrise, and kind of not the immediate foreground, but kind of a little bit before the shark's fin is getting bathed in light, and that just feels doesn't look quite right to me. I'm just going to look in the... Yeah, it's kind of, when you get that light there below the shark's fin, so it's going to gradually creep further and further around here. So, I mean, saying that, we are getting a little bit of light on clear at the moment, but it doesn't feel right to me in terms of light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go up to the corner of the hill there, switch lenses. I've currently got the 16-35mm lens on, but I was only shooting, well, my composition was about 30mm, but I didn't get a shot here. Hopefully I got a nice shot of Benedra. So yeah, I'm going to change lenses to my new Sigma 50mm prime lens, which I've been using for the last couple of days, and really nice lens, really sharp lens, really crisp as well. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly head up there and hopefully get a shot, because the light is starting to come now. So I've come to the corner of the path now to get a kind of more unobstructed view of cleat in the shark's fin. So I've got my Sigma 50mm f1.4 prime lens on, which I've had for about 3 days now. And I say it's a cracking lens, really sharp, really kind of crisp as well. The first shot I did was actually of this particular viewpoint here, and the image has just gone down really well on social media. I mean, obviously all the elements came together as well. I was actually with a client on location guidance, so it's not very comfortable where I'm sat here. I was with a client doing location guidance, so I could get my own shots, but still obviously making sure that he was doing okay. He was happy enough doing his own thing. So yeah, and just everything came together. I had beautiful light, even just the clouds in the sky were really nice. I think the light may have gone for now, for the day. Well, not for the day, but for quite a while here now. I did take a shot as soon as I got to this spot before I set up the video, but it's not the best. I'll show you the composition anyway that I've got. So yeah, you've got a kind of the 2/3 of the shark's fin on the right of the frame, and then cleat kind of taking the intersecting the third left line, if you're using the rule of thirds, so to speak. But yeah, there's a big bank of dark clouds coming over. There's probably actually some weather going down. Yeah, some snow, sleet, or hail or something going through the background there. I mean, there is broken cloud behind it, so I'll either stick around here or go to one of my other viewpoints. I say there's so much things you can do here, but I'll keep the 50mm prime lens on now because I know some spots that I can get some good shots from. So yeah, it's just a case of hanging fire a bit and see what the light does. So probably, as you can see from looking at me in the video, the lights come out again, but I've also got some hail or sleet or something coming down as well, so it's coming right in my face, so it's not helping. I had to run down my bag because I actually left my bag down the bottom where it was previously, and I didn't have a lens cloth with me, so I'm just going to take a shot. It's all coming quite good. The sky is really nice and dark, so if you can't see me, I'm just going to get a bit hectic now. So, whoa, it's a bit slippy up here as well. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to quickly wipe the lens, take a shot. Oh, right, I'm back again. So, I say this is a 1.4 lens, so using aperture f4, it seems to be about the sharpest aperture of this lens. Oh, it's really getting really nice at the moment. Just going to quickly check my sharpness. I was actually just speaking to a couple here a minute ago and they decided to go back for breakfast, but if you see this video, hopefully you don't hopefully you don't look at these images and think, oh blimey, I wish we'd continue shooting, because I can see them, they're still walking, not even getting their cameras out again. Right, just kind of rushing around now because that light's probably going to go away in a minute, but it's coming really quite nice. I say I have to keep continually, yeah, I'm just continually checking the focus. I don't know why I need to continually checking the focus, because I'm in manual focus, not using autofocus, so my focus is dialed in, but also I'm checking for the rain spots. So oh dear, right. Oh, it's a bit of a hectic video, this one. Right, so okay, the light's gone off of cleat, so yeah, I can calm down. No, it's coming back again. Oh blimey. It's a bit, so at the moment there's a lot of light. There's a lot of light, sorry, a lot of light on the shark's fin. Just check the focus. Oh, my bag's okay because it's open actually. I kind of left my bag open a little bit because kind of lensy just kind of sitting outside. I couldn't shut it properly. I was so excited about this light. But yeah, I'll dial it down now because it's kind of going a little bit. So yeah, it kind of looked like it was going to be gone for the morning, but then I saw a gap in the cloud, kind of above where cleat is, and then obviously the cloud's moving from west to east. So I was just hoping that gap wasn't going to close up again. I mean, there's plenty of gap higher up, which is good because the cloud that I really want in my frame is lower down, really dark cloud, then kind of dark towards the horizon, and it kind of gradually gets brighter and brighter. It's really quite nice. So just hopefully that the light gets directed in the right way for me. Just check. Yeah, so I'm shooting at f4 1/250th of a second. I mean, I could quite easily hand hold this, but obviously when you're on the tripod, you've got your composition dialed in, and you're all set. You just double check your histogram and then fire away. So yeah. Oh boy. So again, I apologise for the hecticness and kind of keep going out of view of the video camera because I'm wiping my lens. So just yeah, it's not going to do my bag any harm, this little bit of rain. Thankfully I've got a coffee back there. I wish I'd brought it up here with me because it is rather chilly. Alright, so yeah, so I'm just going to hang fire and see if the light comes out again, hits the landscape in the way that I want it. So I'm saying the way I want it, so ideally I want it just hitting cleat. What I've had so far, it's kind of like being hitting cleat and the shark's fin. But I want less, for me I want less on the shark's fin, because the shark's fin's acting as my foreground here, because there's nothing in the immediate foreground, but that is kind of acting as a foreground to my shot, with cleat being the main focal point. So I kind of want the shark's fin to be more in shadow. So if I don't get that this morning, I'll put an image up showing you what I mean. And then light just hitting cleats. I mean, even if there's a little bit of rim light on the shark fin, it's not too bad, but when it's bathed in the same light, it doesn't appeal to me quite so much. You know, maybe I'm being a bit too picky, I don't know, but that's what I like. So, yeah, so, need to calm down. So all closed up the last location. As in the cloud and everything just went really quite dark. So I decided to get my gear together and come further down to the path to another viewpoint which I know works really well, and it's absolutely stunning at the moment. So I'm just going to check my camera. Oh yeah. So as I got here, I decided just to shoot some video of the fact that it was all closed up and what have you, but I could see a glimmer of hope over to the east. I could see a break behind. I mean, there was hailstones coming down and whatnot. But normally, people would maybe just kind of pack up all the gear and head back to the car and head home for breakfast. Because it's about 8:30 now or something like that. But I said I could see this glimmer of hope. So I stopped here, started shooting some video, and had some crepuscular rays coming out. So I keep looking away from the camera. Just the light's absolutely stunning. There's weather going through the scene, the clouds amazing. Oh my god, just knocking over my tripod. Focus! And slipping as well. And so I could see the crepuscular rays were coming down, giving some light. So yeah, this is a really good sign of, when it blows through enough that the light would come out again. It is. I'm just firing away. I've got my remote release here. I'm just firing away. Shooting at f4, 800ths of a second. So what I've got is the shark's fin. Oh, sorry, focus. Focus. So the shark's fin is perfect for what I want just now. It's in shadow. All the light is on cleat. Dundoo in the background, parts of Chartonish Ridge. The clouds are just hanging really low over it. It's really nice. Just slightly overexposure there. So I'm just going to have a look through the viewfinder. No, I don't want to change the composition from what I've got. Yes, it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to turn around the video cam to show you what I'm seeing. And then we just darken that. So hopefully you can see that that light hitting cleat there. The dark cloud was just being slightly lit up from underneath. It's absolutely amazing at the moment. Let me just adjust my ND filter. Okay, that's better. Yeah, oh, light's really good again. Alright, so we're getting a wee bit of light on the shark's fin now, so it's only in the bottom left hand corner, so it's not ideal, but I've got some really nice shots in the bag. So again, this was all rushed. I wanted to get some shots in the bag before I started setting up the video camera, just in case it went, but it's just hanging around. Well, that's probably about the best of it, because it's breaking up even more now. So yeah, I didn't even have a chance to get my rain jacket on, so I'm a bit wet through, but that's part of the landscape photographer's, what happens, shall we say, what can happen. You're so excited getting the shots and you forget to put your rain jacket on, but it wasn't too bad. So yeah, I think that's me for this morning. The lights, the sun's coming really far south now, so it's kind of really getting into the face. As you can see, let me adjust my ND again. So what a great morning it turned out to be. I didn't get the first shot that I wanted, but I got some really nice light on Benedra with the cloud being lit up underneath it. Got some nice, maybe not so nice shots from the second viewpoint with Cleaton, but this one's just worked out really fabulously. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this rather hectic video from me. You know what to do, likes, comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon to be notified of when another video is uploaded. Yeah, until that one, Bye bye. So I run back down and got my coffee, so cheers. Ah, so good on a cold morning.